Tim Brando alongside Corey Alexander here in Coral Gables, Florida, where Georgia Tech stole an opportunity from Miami to claim an outright ACC crown for the regular season, 71-69. And Corey, really, it was as well played a game as I've seen in the league this year for the first 10 minutes. And then you could just sense that Georgia Tech kept hanging around as the game went on.
And we talked about how they both started scoring well early. Then Georgia Tech kind of tailed off. But what Georgia Tech did in the second half was they made it their pace of game. They slowed Miami down defensively. They were able to make it a possession game, and they had a couple plays go their way that allowed them to be able to come up victorious at the end.
A lot of critics of the college game say we need to see more shots made. Well, that's what we saw in the first half. Both teams shooting at a 57 and 54% clip respectively. And Miller got involved early. I mean, shots were falling for the bigs, whether it was inside or outside.
And very true. And on the other side for Miami, it was Kenny Kaji stepping out behind the three-point line, knocking down threes off of Shane Larkin passes. So everyone was scoring the ball well early, and there was a lot of confidence with team guys shooting the basketball.
In the second half, they tightened up Georgia Tech, their defense on Kaji. That was his last basket for about a 12-minute period in the second half, and then Gamble kind of took over.
And Julian Gamble got involved in the mix, but it was hustle plays by Georgia Tech that allowed them to get back in it. And Chris Bolden with the fancy move to finish it off. And that was the first Georgia Tech lead late in the second half. Marcus Georges-Hunt was finding people at the rim, but more importantly, Marcus Georges-Hunt with a huge tip-in to be the game winner for Georgia Tech.
This is why you put it on your best player's shoulders and get it on the rim with time for a tip.
Absolutely, and they planned this out perfectly. Got the ball into Marcus George's hands with about 7 seconds, knowing he was going to attack the basket, and Miami would never have had enough time to get a shot off after that one. And Georgia Tech, you see, extremely excited about a win here in Coral Gables.
6 assists for Georges-Hunt, only 2 field goals, but the second one very memorable. There are the numbers. Statistically so well played. Miami got to the free throw line, as home teams do, generally a great deal more. And look at that shooting percentage in the second half for Miami. And Georgia Tech amped up their defense.
Georgia Tech's defense is the MVP of this game, and that was the reason they were able to come away, because they held Miami to 36% shooting here on their home court.
Well, coming off the bench, Chris Bolden, the freshman from Sewanee, Georgia, had a career-high 21. Shortly after the game, he spoke with Corey.
Okay, here with Chris Bolden. Chris, you were a University of Miami commit. You decommitted when Coach Frank Haith left. How does it feel for you coming in here in your first game and getting a win?
It feels great, especially for the Georgia Tech program. I mean, it's all about preparation. I mean, putting hard work in. You know, when Coach Haith left, I opened up my recruitment back up, and, you know, I fell in love with Coach Gregory and the coaching staff from the very beginning. So, I mean, it's a great feeling to come down here and get a win for the program.
And, of course, you guys came into this game very confident, feeling as though you could get a win. Very few people would have believed it. But what was it about you all that feel that you had a good chance here tonight?
Preparation and practice. We had 2 really good days of practice coming off the loss we had. But the practice that we had, the walkthroughs, everything, everybody was in tune, focused. I mean, it was one of the best we've ever had, and, I mean, it showed on the court tonight.
And, of course, your freshman teammate, Marcus Georges-Hunt, with the tip in, that'll probably be the play of the game. However, you with the fake behind-the-back layup that actually gave you guys the first lead since 14-11. Tell me a little bit about that play.
Well, I saw 2 of my wings running on the side, and it was 2 back, and nobody took the ball. So I just decided, you know, take it to the goal and, you know, just fake a pass, and it went in.
All right. Thanks a lot, Chris.
He rocked you there as what he did. 71-69, Georgia Tech. There it is again, the tip by Marcus Georges-Hunt, and the lead as the clock wound down to triple zeros. For Corey Alexander, Tim Brando saying so long from Coral Gables here on the ACC Network.